Sergeant, the saboteur knife, what did you do with it after you collected it from that debris pile that day?
So it was packaged in that box that you saw there, brought to the Fire Marshal's command vehicle to document further, as well as process for or swab for potential DNA evidence.
Okay, if we could please have slide 183. Just explain to us what we're looking at here.
So the knife was placed onto new, unused brown paper and documented. I wanted to document because it's hard to tell now, but at the time, as you can see, there's a significant amount of debris caked onto one side of it. On the other side, it's more clean. So I basically documented each side with a scale, as you can see, but also swabbed the 4 different areas on the knife. The debris A marked the location of the blade that had debris on it. Well, I guess we'll go one by one.
Sure, if we could have slide 184 now.
So that's just a close-up of just that blade area. And when I say swab, we use what's called a capture swab. It's a fancy name for a Q-tip with a plastic cap on the end that's self-drying. So when we're swabbing that area, I can then swab the area completely and then close that plastic cap, allowing it to air dry.
Slide 185.
This is a photograph of the other side of the blade or of the knife itself, but particularly the location which I swabbed, B was the other side blade only.
Slide 186.
Close-up of that location.
Slide 187.
C is the debris, going back to the debris side of, and swabbing of, and C signifies that I swabbed the handle on the debris caked side.
Slide 188.
Just utilizing the scale in another way, just to show the size of the bleed.
Slide 189.
And again, the last one was a swab D, as in Delta. That's just the other side. I swabbed the blade of the cleaner side.
Slide 190.
And just another photograph of the size of the blade. Tried to take as many photographs with the scale in case we needed to match it up to anything.
What did you ultimately do with the swabs once you took them?
The swabs were sent to the New Jersey State Police for testing for potential DNA.
Prior to that, though, just like take a step back. After you took the swabs, what did you do to preserve them?
The swabs are preserved in paper evidence envelopes and sealed, just like, you know, like I said, everything's preserved in the same way. Obviously, it depends on the item, but ultimately it's preserved and sealed in that envelope, and I initialed the seal. I don't know if we went into this, but all the evidence that gets collected and ultimately gets secured in my assigned crime scene vehicle, and then later gets transported to the New Jersey State Police, to the crime scene unit's temporary evidence vault for potential testing at the New Jersey State Police.
When you put those swabs in the temporary evidence vault, was there evidence property receipt that was generated?
Yes.
I'm showing counsel what's marked as S296, as well as swabs S314, 15, 16, and 17. First, I'm going to ask you to take a look at S296. What is that?
That's the evidence property receipt for swabs of collected items.
And if you could please look at starting with S314. What is that?
314 is my number 13-6 swab of blade of item 18-0832-1-19, which again is the knife, adhesive marker A.
Okay, so that swab corresponds with what we saw as swab A, or the marker A.
Correct.
Okay, how about S315?
315 is swab of blade of number 18-0832-1-19 knife, adhesive marker B.
316?
That one was 13-7. I don't think I said that. This one is 13-8, swab of handle of item number 18-0832-1-19 knife, adhesive marker C.
And S316, I'm sorry, 17.
317 is my item 13-9, swab of handle of or item number 18-0832-1-19 knife, adhesive marker D.
Okay, and are those swabs and the corresponding numbers listed on the evidence property receipt?
Yes,
Which is S296?
they had 1 through 4 on the property receipt.
Okay, and then the knife, what specifically was done with that? Was it sent anywhere?
Yes, it was ultimately sent to the lab as well.
To the New Jersey State Police Lab?
Yes.
Okay, and is that also the knife listed on S296? The last one on the bottom, is that?
No, not on this one. It's on the 293.
Which you have in front of you?
I do.
Thank you.
Read it?
No, I just wanted to know if it
yes.
was on there. Now, on November 23rd of 2018, did Lieutenant Catalona bring those swabs and that knife to the New Jersey State Police DNA lab?
He did.
Did he also bring reference samples for the 4 victims' DNA samples to the lab as well?
He did.
If we could have slide S191. Okay, what are we looking at here, Sergeant?
So after locating that knife, I located and documented the Sabatier knife block. There were a total of 17 knives in that, or 16 according to this picture. The 17th is a serrated knife that's on the counter there in the knife set.
How did that knife correspond with the knife that you just showed to the jury?
It fit into that, the knife that we just showed. Well, they all have the same markings specifically on the handle, on the back of the handle. It's the same knife. The one that we just showed to the jury, that I just showed to the jury, was like a chef's knife that fit into that same block.
Can we have slide 192?
This is documenting the top of that knife block in the middle of the photograph. There are 2 empty slots. The one to the middle row towards the right is where that serrated knife would fit, and presumably the chef's knife would fit into the top middle row.
That serrated knife, when you got to the scene, was that in the butcher block or someplace else?
It was on the counter right in front of it. You can see it on the photo before this we just looked at.
S193?
That's the side of the butcher block or the knife block.
S194?
The top of the knives, of all the knives, to include the one that was recovered from the foyer, all had that same symbol.
And S195?
I documented the knife block with marker 15. You can see the knife, the serrated knife slightly, at least the blade of it in this photograph on the bottom of the photograph.
And you may have said it, I'm sorry if I missed it, but did you do anything to see if the knife that you had shown to the jury just before that you marked as evidence fit into any one of those slots?
I didn't want to, the serrated knife I put into the slot that it would fit into. In terms of the other one, I documented to the best of my ability, but obviously I don't want to cross-contaminate it or contaminate it anyway by putting it into the block prior to, any testing done.
And did you take that block as evidence?
It did.
I'm showing you in council what's been marked as S318. Do you recognize this, Sergeant, based on the packaging?
Yes. My item number 1-20, EM15 wooden butcher block containing 17 Sabatier knives from the kitchen counter.
That's empty, so open up.
It's not every case that we see the crime scene detective bring out physical evidence in front of a jury. I mean, they do have the option of showing the photos. You see the photo behind him that's really giving these jurors just a scene setter of what they are about to see. But there's something about being able to see the physical evidence in court in front of you, where you can see the 360 view. And remember, if it's evidence inside of this courtroom, there's a chance, sometimes there are some rules when it comes to weapons and how that can actually be given to the jury. But when they're in deliberations, if they want to see a piece of evidence, then they may have that option. Let's go back in.
No objection.
The only reason it was wrapped in the extra paper was just to make sure that the knives don't come out during packaging.
Thank you.